Hey everybody, it's Pastor Friday, and on this Pastor Friday, we're going to talk about Venmo. So let's go Venmo! Okay, yeah, it's Pastor Friday, and we're talking about Venmo. Venmo, is it a faster payment or not? A lot of debate can be said about that because you got to understand how Venmo works. In a lot of the conferences that I speak at, a lot of the places that I go, I end up talking a lot about the different apps that are out there, whether it be Venmo, Cash, the Cash app actually by Square, and sometimes Alipay, WeChat, and Apple Pay and PayPal and all of those. What is Venmo? Well, Venmo is something that's really popular. In fact, what's interesting is I have found that Venmo has become a word to be able to describe something. It's like it's its own verb. Hey, why don't you just go ahead and Venmo me that money? What really makes that interesting is I've had somebody say, I'm going to Venmo that to you. And I was like, all right, cool. Because I really don't use the Venmo app that much. I use it in conferences to show people how it's used and to show that it shows public data if you don't turn it off, and to show the use of the emoticons in it or the emojis. That's really what most of the appeal of it is to me, is being able to see all those emojis in there. And so when somebody said they would do that to me, well, I'm like, yeah, I got a Venmo account, and go ahead and do that. They didn't use Venmo. I thought it was really interesting. They said the word, I'm going to Venmo that to you, but they didn't. So what exactly is Venmo? Well, if you look at their service and look it up, it'll say Venmo is a way to be able to pay friends and family that have a Venmo account. See, that's one of the key things that has to happen here. With Venmo, you have to have each a Venmo account. You have to be set up to be able to use it. If you don't have a Venmo account, well, it does make it quite difficult because you can't send Venmo to somebody. It's really more of a closed network is the way I describe it. It's closed because you have to be in that network. It's not open to just really any financial institution. However, any financial institution account can be created to, or can be linked to be able to fund your Venmo account, and money can come from your Venmo account. When it does come from Venmo, you can use it to be able to send money to your friends. It's quite popular amongst what we say the younger generation when it comes to splitting their bills, or say paying their half of a tab, paying their half of rent, something like that. And who knows, if the professor's got time, I'll add some funny things I've found on Venmo as far as what the emojis mean and some interpretation. I've said for years I'd do that. I'm gonna have to get to that one day. But you can use your Venmo account to even pay vendors too, if that vendor is set up for it. When I was out on the West Coast last year, in the San Francisco area particularly, I did see some vendors that had signs on their doors saying that they accepted Venmo payments. I didn't get to use it, I should have. Similar to other services, when someone sends you money, your money's gonna be in that Venmo account, and it can be transferred to other accounts. Now with Venmo, it's free to use if you use a debit card, but it will cost you 2.9% to be able to use a credit card. Well, it says that it can get your money to your account within 1 business day. My experience is that it's taken a little bit longer than that, but I haven't tried it this year. And it is now 2019. It was last year, was the last time I tried to use it. Venmo did add an option though to instantly send money to your debit card for 25 cents. And well, it started at 25 cents, and that was last October, but then it got raised and the minimum went up, and it went up to really be 25 cents or 1% of your transfer amount, whichever really is the highest there, right? Transfer to an account though is still a free option, but that transfer over a couple of days is what's the free option. And it's gonna take a couple of days because like I said, it's not fast. When Venmo did release their instant transfer option, there was some fraud that took place and some losses. I bring this up not to say anything bad about Venmo. In fact, I think Venmo's great. I've used it and I have nothing against it whatsoever, but I just want you to know how it works. Now, when this came out, it was a learning experience for Venmo, and I think it was a learning experience for all of us in the industry. Venmo actually stopped allowing customers to transfer funds instantly to their bank accounts and started blacklisting users that they deemed suspicious by using algorithms based on how the system was being used. It stopped letting customers send and receive money through its website too. That I thought was really, really important. But you got to realize this. How many people are going to a website to be able to use Venmo? Most people are using Venmo as an app on their phone. That's why, I even put up and tried to draw what it would look like on the app. Fraud can take many different forms. There's no doubt about it. And criminals, they can load stolen credit cards onto Venmo profiles. It happens, but it's not just Venmo. So I don't want anybody to think that this type of fraud only happens on Venmo. It happens on multiple types of accounts. Hackers can take over existing accounts that Venmo users don't realize and pilfer their account, take the money out of it because they've gained access to it. All the more reason to have secure passwords and multiple forms of authentication in place. When that does happen, we have found that, from what I'm seeing in posts, the company generally does reimburse users who lose money in those types of transactions. I'm quite honest and transparent on my blogs here, and I'm not going to tell you that Venmo's a bad app in any way, because I do like it. And like I said, in what I found in my research, and maybe your experience has been different, the company's been very credible and forthright in their communications. It's one where I've been able to see where they had losses. They owned up to the losses. They said what they were doing. I'm really a big fan. Venmo is not something that I would say is used for, let's say, everyday transactions. It's really more for low dollar transactions. There is at this time really a single limit transfer of $3,000. He said low dollar, $3,000. Yeah, really, okay, if it's person to person, how many of you are doing $3,000 plus transactions? You won't use Venmo to use the real high dollar transactions, so business to business, it's not something I see a use for. Person to person, I think it's great, and as far as a app that you can have some fun with, I do think that there's a lot of fun in there. And like I said, maybe I need to, if I see enough requests, I see enough comments, I will go ahead and add the Venmo, I guess what they could call them, Venmojis. I should quote that term, the Venmojis that I've created to be able to say this is what this transaction really meant based off of the emojis that I've seen in live experiences and that in discussions with my older children and friends and family have come up with too. That concludes this Faster Friday. There will be other sessions or are other sessions on other apps that are available out there. If there's anything you would like to learn, please put that in the comments below or send me a message. You can also email me at kevin@paymentsprofessor.com. I look forward to hearing from you, and I hope everybody has a fantastic Faster Friday.